do the workshop. Thank you so much for coming tonight. I'm excited. Nutrition, we're going to be covering a few different topics of nutrition over the next 6 weeks now. You're going to get 3 good workshops on nutrition. Nutrition is one of my favorite things to talk about, but it's very sensitive as well. It's much like, especially in the fitness realm, it's much like religion. And if I tell you about what I believe about nutrition, it may not be what you believe, and then there's a conflict. Have you ever experienced that before? Yeah, especially in the fitness world. If I go sit down with a personal trainer right now, they've studied, they're into their nutrition, especially if they've gotten results themselves or with their clients. If I come and present something that's a little bit different or twisted, I'm on religious ground, religious turf now with them, and now they've X'd out anything that I have to share. So I want you to have a little bit of an open mind with this, or a lot of an open mind with what I have to share, because what I'm going to cover is really, it's the generals. This is like Nutrition 101. We're going to scratch the surface on a lot of stuff. We're going to get into detail on a few things, especially with pizza, Diet Coke, and veggies. That's why we titled it this. So I'm glad you guys are here. I'm going to ask if you have notes, take notes, write down some questions that you may have, save them for the end. We may have a few minutes at the end to ask questions. If we don't get some questions that you have answered during this workshop, go online, like Tom said, check it out. It's progression7.com. Submit questions. They come directly right now to me. We don't have a big enough group yet where I'm overwhelmed with any questions that come in, so I'm happy to take those questions. And if not, we'll get them answered either way, even if it's not coming directly from me. So to get started, welcome to the Big Fat Challenge. How many contestants do we have here? Okay, few guests, mostly contestants. Welcome. I want to encourage you to keep going. I talked to a client this morning, and she was so discouraged because the scale didn't say what she wanted it to say, and she's been working really hard and has become very, very diligent with her eating. But she was discouraged with her scale, so we did a body fat percent reading, and her body fat percent is going down. And so, don't just look at the scale. I can't say that enough. What the scale says doesn't depict what's going on. Next workshop, it's going to be about nutrition as well, but I'm going to do a plug on fitness, how to get the best results, and what to do in the final weeks so you do things right to reduce your body fat percent as quickly as possible. Won't cover that here today. Anyway, I'm glad you're part of the challenge. I want just briefly to talk about who we are and why we do what we do. More than 80% of people who have lost weight regain all of it or more after 2 years. And remember I asked this question last time, has anybody experienced losing weight and gaining it back? And the hands that aren't going up are just afraid to admit it, right? Yeah, it's real common, it happens. There's a reason why we're going to talk about that tonight. The conclusion that even some of the major research networks out there and schools that are doing research, diets aren't working long term for people. Lifestyle change does. So it gets us real confused about what to do with our diet, what to do with our nutrition, what to do to lose weight. Here's why we're here. 97%, I want you to catch this, 97%, because I'm going to come back to this a lot. 97%, big number or little number?
Big number.
It's a very big number. Of losing weight with typical dieting contributes to 30% of muscle and bone loss. That's a dangerous thing. Your muscles and your bones are the substance, that's the foundation of your metabolism. So if you're losing muscle and bone, your metabolism is going up or down? Quick group. This is why we base the Big Fat Challenge on body fat percent. Because your metabolism, if we focus on body fat percent, will not go down. It'll at the very least stay the same, or it will go up. Even if you don't do anything and don't lose 1 pound of lean muscle or bone, I commend you for that, but because you reduce your weight, your metabolism will actually increase. It will go up. That's what we want to see. We want to know what's happening to your metabolism. Because products don't work, programs do. That's what I'm going to come down on again and again and again. You may believe that I got this secret pill and it's just the thing, or I got this trainer and she's just the thing, or he's just the thing, or I got this exercise program and it's just the thing. Just give it some time. Eventually it's going to wear out on you. Programs do. People want hand-holding. They want to be touched. They want to be part of a group, a network, and that's what we want to provide for you guys. What James said about the teams, we're really excited about. That's why we present possibility for you. Okay, Olympics. Anybody watching it? Good, good. I happen to put a picture of a pole vaulter who also, from the U.S., Jennifer Sir, actually happened to win the gold medal last night, if anybody saw that. It's way cool. Pole vaulting is one of the things that I'm very fond of because that's what I did back in the day. Tried to get that U.S. shirt for 12 years, never made it. Made it as far as the trials. Pole vaulting was one of the things that I did. I put that picture up for a couple reasons. One, if you watched it, then you know that the conditions weren't that great if you got some good commentaries. Holding that pole in the air and running down the runway, the slightest little breeze can tip that thing like a big sail. And you've got to be so accurate. It's precision running down there, and to be able to plant the pole and take off right at the end of the runway. And then all your mechanics have to come together so you can clear the crossbar. It takes training. It takes practice. It takes mental strength. It takes an awareness of what's happening to you in the moment. The reason why I brought this slide up is I want to compare it to something. How often should you hop on the scale? I have a very strong opinion about this, and I get in conflict with a lot of people. And that's okay. If we stand in conflict, I still love you, and you can still love me if you choose. I am a firm believer in being a scale hopper. Go on it often. If you're afraid of it, I want you to overcome that fear. If you're afraid of snakes, what does a psychologist have you do? If you have the desire to eventually overcome that fear, he has you play with them. If you're afraid of heights, he sets you up in a high place. If you're afraid of the scale, anybody afraid of scale and brave enough to admit it a little bit? Good for you. Good for you. You're not alone, I promise you. On one-on-ones, almost everybody has a strong fear of the scale. Here's what I want to do. Just like the athlete, I want to create an awareness. We need to have an awareness of what's going on in the moment. So when you're going down the runway, you've got to have things lined up and dialed in. And if there's a breeze that blows you left or right, or a wind pushing against you or pushing you forward, you got to know what to do so you can make those changes along the way. If you don't step on the scale and you wait too long and you hop on, what if it's a bad day and you don't know it? Then you got a bad week. Or then you start feeling like, I might need to just quit right now because nothing's working. And it was just a bad day. Wait, the next day it might be turned around completely. This is what I want to do. U.S. Department of Health and Human Services has done an ongoing weight loss study. They're 6 years into the study, and of all the people that lost weight and kept it off for 6 years, they had 3 things in common. You want to know what they are?
Yes.
That's not nearly powerful enough. You want to know? Any interest in that?
Yes.
They kept the weight off for 6 years or longer. That's a big deal. 6 years. Can anybody in this room say they've kept weight off for 6 years or longer yet? I got a snicker. It probably represents the majority of us. No, let's go down that road and let's find out what these people did, because success leaves clues. And if we pay attention to those that have had success with weight loss, we can catch the clues that will work for us as well. Here's these 3 things. May work for you, may not. I'm going to suggest them. Here we go. Number 1, they ate breakfast every single day. Number 2, they did 30-minute home workouts at least 3 days per week. I did say home workouts. This is just what they had in common. Number 3, they weighed themselves every day. Kind of interesting thing about that is this, right here. Here's my suggestion. Like the athlete, we need awareness. Here's what I want you to try when you hop on the scale. Whether you're afraid of it, whether you're going to take the suggestion at heart and do what the successful people have done and hop on every day, or not, regardless of when you decide to hop on the scale, what I'm going to encourage you to do is ask these 4 questions every time you weigh. Hop on, say, what did I eat the day before? What did I drink the day before? What did I do the day before? And what was I thinking? Where was my mindset the day before? If you get really honest and you ask yourself those questions and are brave enough and dedicated enough to write them down, write down the answers, you're going to start to make a mental connection, just like the Olympic athlete. The ones that rise up to the top and get on the medal stand are the ones that pay attention to the little details. And what I want is I want you to make that connection so that you hop on the scale and you can go, yesterday I was out in the sun all day and played. I probably got a little dehydrated, maybe sunstroke. I'm heavy today. Maybe there's a connection. And there definitely is. It is so easy for the body to get off balance. We're going to talk about balance a little bit later. If we're off balance, the body has a tendency to go into either a slight, to a moderate, to an intense state of shock, and it will retain water anytime that happens. And water, it can pull water out of crackers if that's all you're eating. The body just has a way of just pulling water. It will retain water when it